afternoon, everyone. We are now recording for LAX Movie Review 2003. We are from Group 51. So let us begin by introducing ourselves.
Hi, my name is Song Hui Ling and my matrix number is 202138 and I'm taking course BBA.
Hi everyone, my name is Lee Sok Fong. My matrix number is 202221. I'm taking BBA also.
Hello everyone, my name is ZHEYANG. My matrix number is 201403 and my subject is Computer and Communication System.
Hello everyone, my name is Fu Yi and my matrix number is 2040x6 and I am taking Business Administration.
Hello everyone, my name is ZHENGAN. My matrix number is 204335. My profile is English language.
Hello guys, my name is Ying. My matrix number is 202194 and I'm taking course BBA.
My name is Lim Susin and my matrix number is 202030 and I'm taking course BBA.
My name is Cassandra Teng and my matrix number is 203661 and I'm currently taking Business Administration.
My name is Ng Ka Ling. My matrix number is 202420. I'm taking BBA.
My name is YANGWANHAN. My matrix number is 201562. I'm taking course in BBA.
Okay, so we gathered today for our movie review discussion for second movie, Alice in the Wonderland, as we all agree in the last discussion. So, who want to share first about the movie?
I'm going to talk about the summary first.
Okay.
After watching the movie Alice in Wonderland, which is released on 2010 because got two versions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to share the summary about this movie. Alice Kingsley, which is the main character in the movie, when she's in child, she told her father that she keep dreaming about she's falling down a rabbit hole into another world. 13 years later, when she was 19 years old, Alice found that she is being proposed publicly and she excuses herself to run away. And she found a rabbit with a blue waistcoat and pocket watch. So she just following the rabbit. And accidentally she fell into the rabbit hole and entered a small room by drinking a bottle labeled "Drink Me." So she shrink her body size shrink into small, and she goes through the small door and enter the forest called Wonderland. And there she greeted by the white rabbit, the dormouse, talking flowers, and identical twin named Tweedledum and Tweedledum, who all apparently know her. All of them argue that she is the right Alice who fight the Jabberwocky, and they bring her to meet the blue caterpillar, and the caterpillar show Alice his oraculum, which is a scroll of calendar record the history and the future of the Wonderland. So by the help of the Mad Hatter, she successfully get a Whopper sword, which is the only weapon that can kill the Jabberwocky. And on the Frabjous day, she successfully fight the Jabberwocky. This is all from my summary of the story.
I want to talk about the climax of the movie. The climax is when Alice and her friends have to fight against the nefarious Red Queen in order to save Wonderland from her evildoings and restore all powers to the White Queen. On Fragile Day, the Queens gather their armies on a chessboard like battlefield and send Alice and the Jabberwocky to decide the battle in single combat. Encouraged by the advice of her late father, Alice fights the Jabberwocky among a demolish spiraling towers surrounding the battlefield. Alice finally successfully defeat the Jabberwocky by jumping from the top of the tower onto its neck and beheads it.
I would like to share the theme of Alice in the World Wonderland. The theme is the inevitable loss of childhood innocence. Everything is from Alice's physical change to discomfort she feels in the presence of the Duchess. This is represent the inevitable moment from childhood to lost innocence of adulthood. Alice begins as a cool and rational girl, but all of her sense of order is shaken as she encounters characters and situations which define her sense of order in the world. In order to make it through Wonderland, Alice must rely on tricky and also manipulation in order to get success. For example, the Queens of Heart in this movie is actually very bad, right? So, but no matter how ridiculous she is, her authority is still exists. Um, adult life is full of this injustice. When we are enter adulthood, we may encounter many unfair things, which is enough to change people familiarity and also innocence toward this society.
And I would like to share about the character on the movie of Alice in Wonderland. Okay, after I watching the movie, the main character of the Alice in Wonderland is Alice and the Red Queen, White Queen, and the Mad Hatter. The four are the main character and important character in the Alice in Wonderland. First, Alice is a character that full with loving and gentle, and she also is widely curious about everything that she met, and Alice also always giving a polite courtesy when introducing herself to other people, and the Red Queen, as we know, he is a what? He's a he's a main antagonist in this movie, right? He's a bad guy, and the Red Queen character is played by Helena. Yeah, Helena actress played Red Queen, and the Red Queen is her appearance is a swollen head with a love shape, right? her hair is a love shape, and I think Helena play well as a Red Queen because he play like he's a really bad guys, right? He play well in the movie, and the next character is the White Queen, which played by Anne Hathaway, right? Yeah, yeah. Um, um, okay. The White Queen is she is a sister of the Red Queen, yeah, but the character of the White Queen is opposite with the Red Queen because we know that Red Queen is a bad guy, but the White Queen, he's a good guy, which
I also like the White Queen more than the Red Queen.
because the White Queen, a lot of people love them, even the animals, right? And the fourth one is the Mad Hatter, which he's always wearing a hat, yeah. And I think the Mad Hatter is played by Johnny Depp, yeah, Johnny Depp, and and I think the Mad Hatter is also a kind guy which always help Alice and to kill the Jabberwocker, yeah. They help the Red Queen and the White Queen, they support the Alice to kill the Jabberwocky at the last, yeah. So that's all. My turn.
So I will share about more little clearly about this closing of the movie. Okay, in the end of the movie, the two queens, which Red Queen and White Queen, gather their armies, and White Queen sent Alice, and Red Queen sent Jabberwocky to fight. So finally, Alice will win in this battle by advice from her late father. In the end, Alice bring the purple blood by giving purple blood of Jabberwocky, and she finally back to her work in England. Back in England, she rejected the proposal of Hamish, and she share her idea of establishing oceanic trade route to Hong Kong to Hamish's father. In the last scene, when she set off on in trading ship, a light blue butterfly land on her shoulder. So she recognized that it's a caterpillar. Yes.
I want to show the critique of these movies. Alice in Wonderland is a successful film and it has a good reputation. Well, but before I watch these movies, I think maybe this movie is a really beautiful fairy tale. But after watching it, I think it's not. um, although the if although in these movies the special effects is really good and he used many CG cartoon, but sometimes it can't and sorry I found yeah. And it is really true. This movie has a very good 3D effects, and many signs are very dreamy, and the clothes and the costume of the character is really beautiful and gorgeous. Yeah. And actually, the cool effect when the Alice drop into the rabbit hole, this part is really splendid. And although and I will say some shortcomings about these movies. I think this movies the storyline of these movies is really general and really not really good. I think I think maybe this is a story tale and it's a version of it be made based on a cartoon.
It's like a new version. Right?
Yeah. So maybe can't touch the adult. Yeah. And yeah. That's all.
I want to share the beginning and the intermediate with you. I didn't just think about her dream after watching this movie. At first, Alice had just fallen into the cave. She thought she would cry like a normal girl and had no idea. But I was wrong. She presented her strong and optimistic side to the audience, which showed us that the hero of the story was not a cowardly little girl. Later, in the exchange with the poker soldier and queen, she showed her intelligence and bravery. And after watching this movie, I understand that although it is only a dream, we still need to learn some of Alice's spiritual qualities and turn the spirit of her dream into the spirit of realizing what we have. We should learn from Alice's kindness and helpfulness. Always give help to others, no matter what. cherish it and treat it sincerely. That's all.
I would like to share some lesson after watching Alice in the Wonderland. The first one is be curious. Okay, like Alice, we should be curious enough to explore our own Wonderland. Okay, curiosity will lead you want to understand how things work, not just accept them as they are. By understanding how process work, you are able to optimize them and make them more productive and effective. And the second lesson I have learned is keep your temper. We all know how difficult it is to keep your temper, especially when constantly faced with the ignorance. And however, before you throw a book on someone's head, you should remember the caterpillar wise word in Alice in the Wonderland. Breathe in and out first, and then a cool head can get you far by allowing you to think rationally. And the last lesson I have learned is think before you speak, because word is really powerful. Remember to think before you speak. Help us to take the time to really consider our next step, and make sure we interact with people in with the most respectful way. And people may not remember you or what you say, but they will definitely remember how you make them feel. That's all from me. Thank you.
So I would like to overall this movie. I do a small overall first. So when we go through this movie, we can find that at the beginning of the movie, the scenes was the girls named Alice. He has a nightmare, but in after that, the film has jumped to 30 years later. So on the time, Alice was almost 20, and she was attending to a party. So inside the party, there was an incident, and the Alice was fall into the rabbit hole, and she explored her wonderland. Before she explored the wonderland, she was being in a strength room, right? And to get out of the strength room, she need to pass through the door, but the door is very small. So she found that there is a bottle labeled "Drink Me," and she follow the instruction, right? And she drink. But when she become a she becomes smaller, and she can't get the key. She eat the key to become bigger and get the key. To get out again, she drink the bottle, and she was stepped out at the Wonderland. So in the Wonderland, the main, we can know that she is represents the White Queen in fighting with the German workers. So at the end, she was win in the battle. So the storyline at the end, Alice was back to her real life, real world. So do you want to add more?
I want to share the movie setting and some of my feeling. The setting is a strange and similarly crazy world that is entered by dropping into a rabbit hole, and animals as normal people for physical sets as well as 10 are re, relate, relatable. The story also part takes place in our real world, where Alice started in by sitting next to her sister and wakes up in the story. Wonderland is a dream world. The melancholy horror Wonderland is not really another world. It is in fact our own world, only seen through the eyes of a child. So that's
I want to add on some of my review after watching movie. Alice in the Wonderland let me remember my childhood because I have read the novel of Alice's Adventure in Wonderland when I was young. Through the movie, I learned to be brave and determined when faced problem in our life. Although we may be face some challenge in life, but we should not give up easily. Just like Alice in the movie, she faced a lot of dangers in the journey, but she did not give up, and at the end, she braced herself up to kill the Jabberwocky and save everyone in Wonderland from the Red Queen's control. Okay, besides, we should brave to express our idea and insist on ourselves, even though people around us disagree with us. Like in the end of the story, Alice refused to marry with the son of the Lord, even though she knows that everyone wants her to marry with him, but she still brave to refuse him because she did not love him. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, the journey to the Wonderland has made very much different to the Alice state of mind. When Alice come back to her extended family, she is there one by one imparting her newly knowledge onto them. This is a true sense that she had grown and become wiser, and she know what she truly want to be. We are the same. We can only become stronger after we experiencing twists and turn.
Yeah, I agree with what Kaling said. And we must be brave in our daily life, no matter how hard we are or what obstacle we are facing of. Like Alice, at first she also think that it's impossible for her to kill the Jabberwocker.
Yeah.
But because of the confidence and some of her experience, she also can kill the Jabberwocker by herself. So I would like to say that in our life also, we need to be brave as Alice. Either in our study life or our future, we need to have the brave. If we lost of this brave, we cannot step out for a further step. So next, I would also highlight that always remember that our family are waiting for us. Because at the end of the movie, we can see that Alice can choose either she want to go back to her real life or stay in the Wonderland. But she chose to back to her real life. I think that the reason of she choosing that is because in the real life is still got her mother and her sister waiting for her. And so I think that family is important. No matter who we are, where we are, we will still need have a bond with our family.
I also have a point to add, which is we need to accept the differences of others. Because in the movie, Alice remarked that she don't want to go among the mad people. So learning to accept who we are is one of the great lessons, but also need to learn to accept the differences with others. Even if we are certain of who we are, the people around us are not always going to be who we want them to be. So we need to communicate with people's different characteristics more to expose us to new perspective, a new world, such like the Wonderland.
And we also learn the lesson that we have to be kind to all of the people, right? Because the example, the White Queen and the Red Queen, right? Because the White Queen, we know that she is a very kind person, and a lot of animals and people love him. But the Red Queen, even though the people obey she, but they didn't really love her, right? Yeah. So we need to be kind to everyone that around us. Yeah, be kind to everyone.
Based on this movie, I also learned that we need to explore around us lah, because no try no gain. That's all for me.
The world is big. We need to explore more. Yeah, that's all.
Anyone need to add on something? Okay, so movie that one is carry out. Either we want to be a people like the White Queen or the Red Queen. is our choices. So we can see the difference between how they treat their creatures and animals. So we need to do a smart decisions. Every step we step out is important, and every words we say out also important. Okay. Okay. So no one to add up.
I think that's all
Okay.
from our movie review.
So that's all for our movie review today. So we will meet in next week for our discussion and suggestion. Remember to suggest a movie for the next week. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
망설인다는 걸 알아 진심을 말해줘